Hello class. In this lecture, we will learn resistance and resistance capacitance firing circuits. First, we will learn a resistance firing circuit. A resistance firing circuit is the simplest of firing circuits. Its disadvantage is that the firing angle that it can support is only up to 90 degree. The circuit diagram for a resistance firing circuit is as shown in this figure. A thyristor is a switching device and it is used to switch the load on and off. As shown in this circuit, a sinusoidal source Vs equal to Vm sin omega t is connected in series with the load and the thyristor. This thyristor is used to switch the load on and off. The circuit shown on the left is the control circuit. This part of the circuit draws very less amount of current. Resistance R2 is the variable resistance. Resistance R is the stabilizing resistance. When resistance R2 is 0, the current can flow through the source Vs, load, R1, D, gate, cathode and back. The current flowing in this path must be such that it does not exceed the maximum value of the gate current. If it exceeds the maximum value of gate current, the thyristor can get damaged. When R2 is 0, R1 is selected such that it limits the current below the maximum gate current. Therefore, Vm upon R1 is less than or equal to Igm, or R1 is greater than or equal to Vm upon Igm, where Vm is the maximum value of the source voltage. Notice that over here, small letters indicates instantaneous values. The function of R1 is to limit the gate current to a safe value when R2 is varied. Resistance R should be selected such that the maximum voltage drop across it does not exceed the maximum gate voltage. This can happen only when R2 is 0. Under this condition, voltage drop across R can be found out by voltage divider rule, that is Vm into R divided by R1 plus R should be less than or equal to Vgm. Resistances R1 and R2 are large. Therefore, gate trigger circuit draws very small amount of current. Diode D allows flow of current during positive half cycle only. That is, gate voltage Vg is half wave DC pulse. The amplitude of this DC pulse can be controlled by varying the resistance R2. Figure on the right shows the waveforms for a resistance firing circuit. On the top, we have the source voltage Vs equal to Vm sin omega t as a sine function, where Vm is the peak value of the sine wave. The second is the gate voltage Vg. Resistance R2 is variable, and this resistance R2 determines the voltage that appears across resistance R, that is the gate voltage. If the value of R2 is very high, the current I is very small. Since the current I is small, the voltage across this resistance R is very small. Therefore, the peak gate pulse is less than the trigger voltage for the thyristor. If the peak gate pulse is less than the trigger voltage of the thyristor will act like an open switch. Since the thyristor acts like an open switch, it will block the entire source voltage and the source voltage will appear across the thyristor. Vt is the thyristor voltage. Since the thyristor acts like an open switch, the entire source voltage is blocked by the thyristor and it appears across the thyristor. Since the thyristor is open, there is no current flowing in the circuit. So there is no load current. And the output voltage V0 is 0 since the thyristor is open. Resistance R2 is variable, and by varying R2 we can control the voltage across the resistance R, that is the gate to cathode voltage Vg of the thyristor. Suppose R2 is selected such that gate voltage just reaches the gate trigger voltage VGT at omega t equal to 90 degree. It is seen that between omega t equal to 0 to omega t equal to 90 degree, the value of gate voltage is below the gate trigger voltage. Since the value of gate voltage is below the gate trigger voltage VGT, the SCR will act like an open switch. Since the SCR will act like an open switch, the entire source voltage should appear across the SCR as shown over here. At omega t equal to 90 degree, the gate voltage just equals the gate trigger voltage. Since gate voltage just equals the gate trigger voltage VGT, the SCR will turn on. Since the SCR turns on, the conduction has shifted to the main circuit. Therefore, current flows through Vs, load, Vt and back. The control part of the circuit will be inactive. Therefore, the Vg part is shown as 0. At omega t equal to 90 degree, since the SCR has turned on and it acts like a closed switch, voltage across a closed switch is 0. Therefore, 0 is shown over here. At omega t equal to pi, that is 180 degree, the sine wave has reversed. Negative half cycle appears across the thyristor and reverse biases the thyristor. Since the thyristor gets reverse biased, it will act like an open switch. Since the thyristor is reverse biased, a reverse voltage will appear across the thyristor. And since it acts like an open switch, the load current is 0 and the load voltage is 0. During the on condition, the load current is given by I0 equal to V0 divided by the load resistance. Whenever R2 is adjusted such that peak value of gate pulse is greater than gate trigger voltage, it is observed that gate voltage reaches gate trigger voltage before 90 degree. Since gate voltage reaches gate trigger voltage before 90 degree, the SCR will turn on at that particular firing angle, which is below 90 degree. It is observed over here that between omega t equal to 0 to omega t equal to alpha, the value of Vg is less than Vgt. Since the value of Vg is less than Vgt, the gate trigger voltage, the SCR acts like an open circuit and the SCR blocks the source voltage between omega t equal to 0 to omega t equal to alpha. At omega t equal to alpha, the gate voltage equals the gate trigger voltage and the SCR turns on. Since the SCR turns on, it acts like a closed switch and voltage across the SCR is 0. Since the SCR acts like a closed switch, a load current starts flowing through the SCR and the load current is given by the equation I0 is equal to V0 divided by the load resistance. It will have the same nature as the load voltage. When the SCR is on, the entire source voltage appears across the load, as shown over here. After omega t equal to pi, source voltage has reversed. Since the source voltage has reversed, it will reverse bias the thyristor. Since the thyristor is reverse biased, the SCR will turn off and the entire source voltage will appear across the thyristor. Since the thyristor acts like an open switch, the load current is 0 and the load voltage is 0. After omega t equal to 2 pi, the cycle repeats. Diode D ensures that during negative half cycle, no current flows through the current control circuit. In a resistance firing circuit, the firing angle can be controlled from 0 degree to 90 degree only. Hence, power can be controlled from 100% to 50% only. This can be overcome by using a resistance capacitance firing circuit where firing angle can be controlled from 0 degree to 180 degree. The circuit diagram for a resistance capacitance firing circuit is as shown in this figure. Thyristor is used as a switch and is used to switch the load. The thyristor is connected in series with the source voltage Vs equal to Vm sin omega t and the load. The circuit that is shown over here is the control circuit. The waveforms for resistance capacitance half-wave trigger circuit is as shown in this figure. The top waveform shows the voltage for the source voltage Vs and the dotted waveform shows the voltage for the capacitor voltage Vc. Up to omega t equal to minus 90 degree, the capacitor charges through the diode D2 along this path. During this interval, capacitor will charge to a voltage of minus Vm. After omega t equal to minus 90 degree to 0, the source voltage will fall towards 0. However, capacitor opposes any change in voltage and it will try to maintain its peak voltage Vm. At omega t equal to 0 degree, capacitor will maintain a voltage of minus OA. In the positive half cycle, the value of the source voltage is rising towards positive Vm. Therefore, the capacitor will charge through the load resistance R along this path. During this time interval, the capacitor voltage will slowly rise towards the gate trigger voltage VGT. As observed over here, the capacitor voltage is less than the gate trigger voltage VGT. Since during this interval, the capacitor voltage is less than the gate trigger voltage VGT, the thyristor will act like an open switch and it will block the source voltage Vs. Therefore, the source voltage will appear across the thyristor. At omega t equal to alpha, capacitor voltage equals the gate trigger voltage VGT. Therefore, thyristor turns on. Since the thyristor turns on at omega t equal to alpha, the thyristor acts like a closed switch. Voltage across a closed switch is zero. Since the thyristor is on now, the entire source voltage appears across the load. Therefore, from omega t equal to alpha to omega t equal to 180 degree, the source voltage appears across the load. After omega t equal to 180 degree, the source voltage reverses and a reverse voltage appears across the thyristor. Since a reverse voltage appears across the thyristor turns off. Load current is zero and load voltage is zero. After omega t equal to 2 pi, the cycle will repeat again. Once the SCR turns on at omega t equal to alpha, the capacitor will maintain a very small voltage and the thyristor turns on. Thyristor D1 prevents reverse breakdown of gate cathode circuit. The resistance R is a variable resistance, and this resistance R controls the charging time required for the capacitor. If the value of this resistance is very large, the time required for the capacitor to reach gate trigger voltage will be larger. If the value of this resistance is small, time required for the capacitor to reach the gate trigger voltage will be smaller. At this point, the voltage across the capacitor is minus OA. If the value of resistance is small, the capacitor gate voltage will reach VGT before 90 degree. However, for this waveform, the value of resistance R is very large. Therefore, capacitor requires more time to reach gate trigger voltage VGT. Once the capacitor reaches the gate trigger voltage VGT, the thyristor will turn on. Between omega t equal to 0 to omega t equal to alpha, the thyristor will act like an open switch because the capacitor voltage, that is gate voltage, is below the gate trigger voltage. Entire source voltage will appear across the thyristor up to omega t equal to alpha. At omega t equal to alpha, the thyristor turns on and it will act like a closed switch. Since the thyristor acts like a closed switch, voltage across it is zero and the source voltage appears across the load, as shown over here. After omega t equal to 180 degree, the sine wave has reversed and a reverse voltage appears across the thyristor, turning off the thyristor. After omega t equal to 2 pi, the cycle repeats. In resistance capacitance firing circuit, the time required for the capacitor to charge can be controlled. If the value of R is small, the time required for the capacitor voltage to reach VGT will be smaller and we can achieve firing angles less than 90 degree. However, if the fire resistance R is very large, the time required for the capacitor to charge up to VGT will be larger and we can achieve firing angles between 90 degree to 180 degree. RC full wave trigger circuit is as shown in figure below. A sine wave is applied to a diode bridge. The load is connected between the diode bridge and the thyristor. The RC trigger circuit for the thyristor is as shown. Vs is the sinusoidal source voltage. Vd is the rectified diode voltage. Vc is the capacitor voltage. If the value of R is large, time required for this capacitor to charge up to gate trigger voltage VGT is large. Therefore, firing angles greater than 90 degree are achievable. When capacitor voltage equals gate trigger voltage, the thyristor will turn on. Therefore, up to omega t equal to alpha, thyristor acts like an open circuit because capacitor voltage is less than gate trigger voltage. Since thyristor acts like an open circuit, the source voltage appears across the thyristor. At omega t equal to alpha, capacitor voltage equals gate trigger voltage and thyristor acts like a closed switch. Voltage across closed switch is 0, therefore thyristor voltage is 0. The cycle repeats after omega t equal to 180 degree. If the value of this resistance R is small, time required for the capacitor to charge up to VJT is smaller. During this interval between omega t equal to 0 to alpha, the value of Vg is less than VGT. Therefore, thyristor acts like an open switch and entire source voltage appears across the thyristor. At omega t equal to alpha, the capacitor voltage equals VGT and thyristor turns on. Therefore, the voltage across the thyristor is 0 and the entire source voltage appears across the load. At omega t equal to 180 degree, again the capacitor voltage is 0. Since the capacitor voltage is 0, the thyristor is off and the source voltage appears across the thyristor up to omega t equal to 180 plus alpha. Once the thyristor turns on, the capacitor retains a very small voltage across it. This is due to clamping action of SCR gate.